Pitch coming. Swing and a miss. It's 9 in a row. And the 2-2. Swing.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Phillies pregame live. I am your host, Dylan Davis. You can find me on Twitter at DylanJD98. And of course, my co-host to my left, back in person again, George Ryder. Check him out on Twitter at _George Ryder as we stream to you guys live on DSM Media's Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook channel. So if you're new to the channel, head on over to at DSM_media on Twitter. Hit that follow button, of course, and then check out the link tree in our bio. It'll take you to every social media platform we are available on. And if you guys want to get involved in today's show, ask us your questions, throw out your comments, your concerns, positives about the last two big wins for the Phillies heading into today. Head on over to the YouTube or Facebook channel. That's where you can be most interactive, and we can pull your comments up on the screen. But George, happy brunch.
Happy brunch. Yeah, we got a little brunch going on. We got some mimosas, a nice early Phillies game on this Sunday. It's going to be a great day.
It's a great day to go for a sweep. No?
Great day to go for a sweep.
But how did we get here? So before we get into today's game, and we're going to get into pitching matchup, lineup cards, keys to victory, and then we'll also do our best bet segment at the end, which we were this close on the first bet segment from hitting our parlayed bet. But Aaron Nola, who was on the bump last time, we went live, missed by half a strikeout. So we'll see what we have in store for you guys today. But like I said, before we get into today's matchup, let's see how the Phillies put themselves in a position for a sweep with back-to-back extra inning wins in the 10th frame. George, what were your thoughts over the last two ball games? Obviously, 2 nights ago was the Rhys Hoskins show. 4 hits, game-winning home run in the 10th inning. Last night, very odd 10th frame. I don't know if you guys were watching it on a Saturday night, but there was a throwing error to third base.
Very bad.
Didi's able to get home and take the lead in extras. And then with the leadoff runner on second base for Pittsburgh, he gets caught drifting and gets thrown out at second base by Knebel, and that really put the Phillies in position for the win. So what were your thoughts, positives, concerns, negatives about the last 2 wins?
First of all, perfect pickoff move. I mean, O'Neal Cruz had nowhere to go. It was beautiful. But yeah, it was a great comeback for the first game. It was like you're down, you have to come back, score 2 runs in the 7th. Rhys Hoskins gives you that bomb in the extra innings. It was absolutely ridiculous. Like just completely clutched by him. But I feel like yesterday was different. It was kind of more of a grueling, oh no, we're going to extras type game. Alvarado lets up a solo shot to tie it in the 7th, and things just didn't look good. But that throwing error, shout out the Pirates because just pretty much giving us a chance at a sweep today. I feel like a team last year, the Phillies, the team before that, they don't win games like this. They just don't win games like this. And going into the series, it's like you have 4 against Pittsburgh. You have 4 against a terrible team. You have Falter on the mound for one of them. You got Ranger on the mound for one of them. And you're taking advantage of it. I mean, Belly Falter goes out there and gives you 8 strikeouts, his career high. That's up 2 runs. Like that's a miracle performance from him. So they've did nothing but perseverance in this series so far, that's all you really want to see. I mean, the bats are alive, except for yesterday. You get 6 hits from the offense. You somehow win an extra.
Still find a way to win is huge.
Find a way to win. That's pretty much all you have to do.
So a side conversation for a second, because I feel like this is the 800th time so far this season, and I want to know if it's a good thing or a not so good thing that we keep saying the same thing after a good Phillies win. It's a conversation on multiple occasions this year where we say last year's Phillies team doesn't win that game. 2 years ago, this team doesn't win that game. Earlier in the season, this team doesn't win that game when Girardi was still in town. Is that a positive or a negative thing? Like, is it the truth and they keep, persevering and they keep finding ways to win gritty, tough games? Or are we just kind of making this idea up and being too positive after every gritty, tough win? Being like, they wouldn't have done that before. This Phillies team's different. This team's different. They're going to make the playoffs this year. Are we right or wrong?
I see it as a positive personally because you got to be able to come back and win games like that. I mean,
100%.
You have games where you're going to blow teams out. It's going to happen, especially bad teams like Pittsburgh. You go into this series and you're like, just please win, and every single game has been close. It doesn't matter as long as you win, you win, and especially with the wild card being one game apart right now, that. With
the lead now, it's not even like you're trailing.
Yeah, we're up by one right now with that win yesterday.
Yeah,
the Cardinals losing to Washington, beating Pittsburgh, taking advantage of these wins is incredible. So yeah, not blowing them out, it does kind of suck, but it's a positive in my eyes. I mean, being able to persevere and being able to come back, it does matter because in the playoffs, you're gonna see that you're gonna have to come back from deficits. You're not going to be blowing out wildcard teams.
Well, it shows character and fight in this team, right? But it's interesting. And this was the whole point of our conversation last week when they got swept by the Cubs, when everyone was getting so down. It happens. What did you just say to me? The Cardinals lost to who?
The Nationals.
Okay.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So good teams lose to bad teams all the time throughout the course of a regular season. Now, like I said, if this was September 2nd and the Phillies have a 1-game differential in the wild card, yes, a bad loss like a sweep to the Cubs cannot happen then. End of July, it's not the end of the world. And another thing is this team has bounced back on so many occasions this year, which is why I'm more confident than ever. Don't get me wrong. In August of last year, I thought this was a playoff team. Yeah, we were wrong again. We got reeled back in and thrown back out, reeled back in over and over again. But you have the 4-game drought right before the All-Star break. What do? They go on the road and sweep a division rival for the first time in over 2 decades. Yeah. You come out of the break. They get swept at home by a bad Cubs team. World's falling apart again. What do they do after that? They respond by winning 2 of 3 against Atlanta, and now they're going for a 4-game sweep today against Pittsburgh. If they don't win, okay, you took 3 of 4 out of Pittsburgh. I'm sure people will still be pissed off, but you took 3 of 4, which is the ultimate goal heading into the series. You put yourself in a position for a sweep. They found ways to bounce back and persevere and overcome things throughout this entire year. I don't see that part of things stopping. And this is without your leader.
Yes.
This is without Bryce. This is, like I said, Gene hopefully is right around the corner coming back. You're missing 2 huge pieces. You're still missing your 5th starter, and he's probably not going to come back. So the trade deadline's quickly approaching. We'll see what Dombrowski does. He technically made a move already. I, for one, couldn't care less. Is that a polite thing to say?
Yeah, I mean, it's a better middle infield than you have.
Is it?
It does. I mean, yeah, it doesn't spell good for Didi and Camargo and Munez, but that might be a good thing.
Really?
It might be a good thing.
I mean, I can't lie to you and say that I've watched. What's his name? Amundo Sosa.
So, yeah, I'm not. It's like a super high thing. But
really?
Jojo Romero.
Really? Yeah. No. I mean, I don't care about giving up JoJo, but the dude's slashing.
Yeah.
A whopping 189 in over 130 at bats this year.
Yeah, I think it's more of a defensive glove, which.
Oh, great.
I mean, yeah, I
great.
agree.
Well, I'm not, but then again, the move still doesn't make sense to me because when Gene comes back, he's your everyday second baseman. Yep. And from what's been happening over the last month and a half, is Stott should be your everyday shortstop going forward. So that would put Didi and Munoz out of the lineup. Camargo is already your guy that gives you kind of a steady glove in the middle infield, the rotational piece. And Bowen, with the way he's hitting, you're going to have to live with the errors sometimes in the field.
Yeah, for sure.
When is Sosa going to play?
I think it's more of just like a depth type piece. I don't think we're going to see him coming in and starting games.
We shouldn't.
He
should come in the bottom of the 9th at home when we have a 2-run lead.
Yes, pinch hitting maybe.
No, not pinch. In the field. In the field.
Yeah, we see him in the glove. Yes, that's it. Yeah, I agree with you.
All right. Let's move forward to today's game and get into the pitching matchup. Again, we've done 2 live pregame shows together, this being the second one, and both times Aaron Nola is on the bump. Last time, things did not go the way we thought it would. Not only did Nola not throw for over 7.5 strikeouts, not only did he not pitch a clean game like we predicted, they lost.
Yeah, he let up 5 runs, so it was a horrible game.
It's their only loss in the last 6 games.
Yeah, crazy.
So I don't know if this is a good thing that we're together today.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. I don't know. I don't know. It should be. It's a much different opponent than the Braves.
So Nola comes in, one of the league leader in Ks this year.
Yep.
He's got 3.32 at the moment, coming off of a not so good start. So you have to hope. I talked to Phil on the pregame show in Game 1 in Pittsburgh. Wheeler was on the mound, and we spoke about how I get it's a bad team, but this has to be a dominant Zach Wheeler start. Put your foot on this team's throat from the jump, and that's exactly what Zach Wheeler did. I need to see the same thing from Aaron Nola today. Go out, be dominant, be Aaron Nola,
yes.
Right? The Phillies, reversely, are going against J.T. Brubacher?
Yeah,
Brubacher.
Good pronunciation.
3.96. Not horrible.
No. His ERA's been going down throughout the last month, which obviously was a good sign for a pitcher. But now he's got to face the Phillies. He doesn't have to face his last 3 opponents, which are the Cubs, the Marlins, the Brewers. He has to face a much better opponent, hitting-wise at least. Sure.
Now, do you have any how did the Phils fare against JT Brubacher in the past?
So not many.
So same thing as what was it, Strider the other night?
Yeah, like
not a lot of plate appearances.
But Schwarber is 3 for 9 in his career, and Castellanos is 3 for 12 in his. Everyone else maybe has faced him once. I know Reese has not faced him. Boom has not faced him. So yeah, it'll be an interesting type game. They haven't seen him much. Obviously, Castellanos has because he was in the division for the Reds.
So I think it's a closer pitching matchup than what we've experienced the other 3 games this series.
For sure.
But again, try to take bias away. I would give the Fightins the edge here.
Mm-hmm.
But this again, it's an important start for Aaron Nola for many reasons. You want to stack strong starts in a row. And he's, like I said, he's coming off of a not so good. What was his line against the Braves the other night?
Against the Braves,
he got put out early.
6 innings, 7 hits, 5 earned runs, 7 strikeouts.
Right.
1 walk, obviously.
Right.
He just doesn't walk.
So coming off a poor performance at home, you have to now bounce back against a bad team. The thing I'm going to be looking for today in Nola is not how he starts. I know people look for that sometimes in pitchers, and it's how they come out of the gate and how their stuff's moving early on. It's not that. My worry with Nola is the 3rd time around the order. Once he gets to that 5th, 6th inning, for some reason, now he's been good as of late. Outside of the last game, he had put together a strong month and a half right before the All-Star break. His issue is all of a sudden the wheels just start to fall off in the 5th inning, 6th inning, and he's cruising, and 2-run home run, single, double. And it's like, now he can't put anybody away. That's what I'm looking for today. Again, we're talking about the Pittsburgh Pirates.
That's the thing.
This has to be a dominant level start.
Ranger Suarez is missing bats left and right, dude. He had 8 strikeouts.
Bailey Falter
had 8 strikeouts. And you got guys going deep too. Falter went 6, Ranger went 6, and they did good along the way. 2 earned runs, each of them. It just seems like Aaron Nola has a much bigger potential to miss the bats in his lineup and to go deep. And Pittsburgh is not good. They have a few good pieces. O'Neal Cruz, who got picked off yesterday, is freaking incredible, but they just don't have the guys. They don't. They got Kevin Newman up there.
What's the third baseman? Cabrian?
It's come on, Cabrian Hayes.
Yeah,
I like Cabrian Hayes, but they're all young guys, and it's not guys you should be scared of.
No, unless Juris Familia's out on the bump, then they can string together some hits. But yeah, so the Phils, that's the pitching matchup today. You have to give the edge to the Phillies, whether you're a fan or not. Now let's get to who will be going up against JT Brubacher tonight. Excuse the mug, everybody. Face comes back to the screen when the lineup card comes on. So today, July 31st, we have Kyle Schwarber leading off in left field. He DH'd last night, correct?
Yeah.
Back in left field tonight, Reese Hoskins, who's on fire right now at first base, hitting second. Alec Boehm, love that Thompson's keeping him in the 3-hole at the moment at third base. JT also starting to heat up, batting cleanup today. Nick Castellanos, don't know what's up with my man, dude. He puts together a 3-hit night. He comes back and leaves runners stranded all over the field last night. He's in right field batting 5th. Bryson Stott at second base batting 6th. Didi Gregorius at shortstop batting 7th. Matt V. Erling, something's wrong with the graphic. Excuse this. That should be hold on. What's happening here? Somebody's DHing. That's not. We have 2 left fielders on the graphic here. Vierling's out there in the 8-hole, and Herrera is in center.
I can give you an answer real quick on who's DHing today. DHing today is Schwarbs, left field.
Okay, so he's DHing.
He's
Okay,
DHing
so he's
today.
not back
Yep,
in left
yep.
field. That's fine. But thoughts on this lineup? Again, the top of the order is starting to put it together. Schwarber has driven in a couple runs, hit a home run the other night.
Yep.
Hoskins, like I said, has found his groove in Pittsburgh. Bohm might be the hottest hitter on the planet at the moment. JT is driving runners in left and right.
Mm-hmm.
And then things get a little iffy from the 5-hole on at the moment. But you really just have to think that the top of this order can at least carry them to another win against a bad team.
That's kind of the goal. I mean, it's like a perfect top of the lineup, especially against the Pirates, especially against a guy like Baker. It should be good. I mean, I love Bohm at the 3 spot. I don't know about you.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
100% cool with keeping him there. And until Gene comes back and you figure out what you want to do, and then Bryce soon, hopefully. But for now, this lineup is pretty much what you want to see. When he moved Bohm up to 3, it felt like it was kind of a promotion. Like he deserved it. The way that he was hitting is you can't just keep him sitting at the bottom of the lineup.
Well, it's interesting.
Like, yeah.
Because the night that he got bumped up to the 3-hole, JT got the night off, and JT started to get hot right before that night off.
Mm-hmm.
And another point is it's always nice to have a nice bat or a hot hitter towards the bottom of your lineup as well. And what's not broke, there's no need to try and fix it.
Yep.
So I was for kind of keeping him there. JT got the night off. He got bumped up. Well, what's he do, dude? He comes out, drives runners in.
Yep.
I think he went 3 for 4 then there's no moving him at that point when JT comes back. So I like what Thompson has done. He's kind of adjusting on the fly here. Whoever's hot, like you said, it's basically a promotion at this point, and you can't move them now. It's definitely not broken now. So let's not try and fix it. And if there's anything else that kind of jumps out at me, Odubel with another boneheaded mistake the other night.
Yeah.
He's in the order. Didi, dude, at this point, I know Johan Camargo shouldn't be an everyday player. I would play Johan Camargo over Didi Gregorius.
So would I.
He's almost a net negative all the time. It's funny because I know he ended up being the game-winning run last night on an error, but I don't need to see Didi in this lineup anymore. And it's weird because at the end of last year, I was all for bringing him back.
Yeah.
Fill that shortstop void, and
It's
it just
a perfect-
hasn't played out that
it's
way.
a perfect Edie signing, like right when he did sign, it was like, this is a perfect stopgap for Bryson Stott. And now Stott's here, and now Didi sucks. So it's like, okay, let's get Gene back, and let's get Didi the hell out of here, because this is it. It is. And I agree with you, though. I'd rather have Camargo in there than Didi, 100%.
Phil checking in. Let's get that sweep. It's a perfect day for a sweep.
It's
Perfect
a
day.
beautiful day.
Phil, if you're at the shop today, have a mimosa on us, bud.
Yeah.
Relax, let your hair down,
Take one off,
enjoy the game,
eat a slice,
tile load on.
Yes. Brunch.
The synchronized drink.
Like a 1:35 Sunday game for real. It's a great slot.
All right, let's move on to keys to victory this afternoon for the Titans. For me, I mean, I'll defer to you, but for me, it's kind of simple. Just keep doing what you're doing. I do think that the top of the order is the conductor of this train at the moment. I don't see anybody, maybe they'll surprise me today, but I don't see Didi Gregorius or Odubel Herrera or Matt Vierling coming in and putting up big numbers today. This is Alec Boehm. This is Rhys Hoskins. This is JT Realmuto's show right now. Would love to see, obviously, the 5-hole hitter, Nick Castellanos, do something positive today. But I just keep it simple. Play clean baseball in the field. Nola has to be Nola, which I think he will be. I don't think they really need to score more than 4 runs today to get a win. I'd like them to have an outburst today. It feels, like you said, Sunday afternoon, 1:30. It feels like there's an offensive outburst coming.
But I'm going to flip it. Aaron Nola. It's very simple to say, but Aaron Nola. If Aaron Nola goes out and he gives you 6-7 innings of solid baseball, there's no reason you should lose this game. Unless you put in Familia, of course, like you said earlier. That's it. But there's no reason you should lose. Aaron Nola, I mean, obviously he came out against the Braves last time. He didn't have a great game. But then you see him against the Marlins. Perfect game. He had 8 innings, no earned runs. And and he goes out against the Cardinals. He has 7 innings. He has a 5 earned runs, so it's like a back and forth thing. Hopefully today against the Pirates, you get an opponent that you should miss bats. You should 100% miss bats. You should get a lot of swings and misses. Not a lot of guys should be barreling off of Nola.
No.
It feels like this is a Nola game. He goes out there, he gives you 6-7 strong innings. Bullpen cleans it up. You get out of here with the sweep. It feels like it's a setup for a perfect game, easy game.
A perfect game, you say?
All right. I mean, I'll take it. That'd be pretty cool.
Imagine just calling your shot, perfect game, and he makes
Nola.
history tonight. Yeah, I agree. I think that's the word, right? Simple. It's simple today. Go out, let Nola be Nola. You shouldn't have to score many runs today to get a win. And let's get a sweep, because any 4-game sweep is a success.
Go into a 4-game
Doesn't matter
series.
who it is. Then you
You want
come
to
out,
win.
you get the Braves in Atlanta for 2 after this, and then the schedule kind of evens back up.
Get Washington.
Get Washington,
Come on now.
the Diamondbacks. There's a couple. There's a very easy stretch coming up for the Phillies. So, if anything, they're at least proving that they can handle their business against bad teams, and that is huge for this stretch that's coming up. With that being said, you're big on Nola today.
Very big on Nola today. It's a Nola type of day.
So, George, what is your best bet for today's game?
All right, so we're turning back the clock. Last time that we were together, you had over 7.5 Ks.
I did. He threw 7.
8 through 7. I'm going Nola over 7.5 Ks. It's -104 on FanDuel. Last game against the Braves, he let up 5 runs, still at 7 Ks. You go into the last game, Marlins 10 Ks. Cardinals, he had another bad game, he still had 7 Ks. You get a guy who's going out against the Pirates who just got struck out 8 times each from Falter and Suarez. Aaron Nola has better stuff. Aaron Nola should miss more bats. Aaron Nola should get at least 8 Ks a day. I think the price at -104 is pretty nutty, in my opinion. Aaron Nola over 7.5 Ks. Wrap it up. We'll get over this in 5 innings. Easy. Let's go.
I mean, almost even money for a league leader in that category against a team where every other Phillies pitcher has hit that over to this point in the series, and you're not talking guys who normally miss bats to the level that Aaron Nola has this season. So I like it. I'm going to go with Rhys Hoskins, 2+ bases today.
The Reese game.
That's at +145.
I like that.
I think he's been
Plus money action.
I think he's been extremely hot in this Pittsburgh series. He's kind of found his groove.
Yes.
What did he go last night?
He went 2 for.
Did he have another 2-hit game? Coming off the 4-hit game with the game winner the night before that. I love Rhys at 2+ bases today against JT Brubacher. And if you want to, George,
Yes.
parlay these two together. Aaron Nola over 7.5 strikeouts and Rhys Hoskins 2+ bases. Now, I'll tell you something weird as well. I don't know why, because it's just taking the over. It's at -104 if you take the over regularly. If you go the same game parlay on FanDuel and you put Aaron Nola at 8+ Ks, which is essentially the over, you can have it at plus money.
Really?
So if you put that with Rhys at +145, that's a +372.
I love that
today.
I love that.
So I think that's what we're going to be locking in
All
today.
right, we're locking that in. That's the best
So
bet.
if you guys want to get in on this wagon, feel free to join. We'll post those before the game.
Last game, he was by 1 strikeout. Austin Riley hit in the first inning, and Nola just couldn't get it done.
No.
But I think today's the day. It'll return.
I do. So with that being said, let's wrap up this Phillies pregame show with some predictions and a player of the game. George, who you got?
Yes, simple player of the game. Obviously, you know my bet. I'm going with Aaron Nola. Pretty simple pick. I just think he shuts down this Pirates team today. I think you see a lot of strikeouts. You don't see many hits. Let's see a run or two. You never know. But I think Aaron Nola is going to roll through this game and set you up in the late innings to just take care of business. I think the Phillies win. I'll say 5-2 today. I think they do put up runs. Hopefully they put up more than I'm saying. That would be awesome. But I think Phil's roll today. I think we got a 5-2 victory. We sweep. That's 5 in a row, and then we go into Atlanta, and it's
For a 2-game set.
What's going on? Yep.
Try to extend that wild card lead over the Cardinals today, and maybe even gain some ground on the Padres. That's something that people aren't thinking about.
Yeah.
The Phillies have a game in hand for San Diego, and they're a game and a half behind them.
And the thing about it is, Juan Soto is very much linked to the Cardinals and the
Yeah,
Padres.
it's gonna be interesting.
If he lands on either of them, like we have a big problem, and we have to do something.
We'll see. Where would you prefer him to go before I get to my prediction? For as a Phillies fan, where would you prefer him to go where you're least worried? Not least worried. You're less worried about it.
The Yankees?
No. Out of those two.
Those two.
Yeah. You have one right behind the Phillies on their tail, and you have the other that's the Phillies are trying to catch.
Well, it's tough because with Tatis coming back.
That's what I'm saying. I choose the Cardinals because now you have to take just take this year out of it. You have to talk about going forward. Paul Goldschmidt's going to be another year older. He's one of their top two players right now. And then you have Nolan. I get that, right? The Padres, you're talking about pairing Juan Soto with Tatis, Manny. Like they're low. That will be scary for a decade plus, dude. Close to a decade. Yeah. Manny doesn't have a decade left, but Tatis and Soto will. If Tatis can stay healthy.
Oh yeah. I'd probably prefer the Cards. Hopefully, give me neither, please.
Yeah, for
please,
real.
Lord, don't give them.
Just keep them.
Yeah,
just keep them. Although I did see, I think Jeff Passan stated on ESPN it's an 80% chance of happening.
Because they're not gonna.
Which is wild. It's not going to be fun, but the only thing I'll say is at least it won't be the Mets. Knock on wood, because I want him out of the division, and not to that team who were already trailing in the division this year. Get him out of here. Don't have to worry about it. This is interesting, man, because obviously Reese is a play for player of the game here. I took him for my best bet at 2+ bases.
Of course.
But I'm going to go with the other JT.
Oh, okay.
JT Realmuto versus JT Brubacher today. I'm going to say our JT gets the better end of this matchup. Since June 30th, I mentioned how he's heating up.
Yes.
JT is hitting 349 with a 1037 OPS, which ranks first in all of catchers and whatever.
He heard all of us.
He's and again he's hitting in clutch situations.
Yeah.
He's hitting for a little bit more pop. He had a home run last night, so I like JT today to get the better of the other JT. I'm going to go Phillies win. They will get the sweep today. I kind of like your score right around 5-2. I don't think they need to score more than 4.
No.
I really don't think the Pirates score more than 3. I'm going to go Phillies 6-3.
Okay.
Right around that area. 3-run win.
3-run, yeah.
Help the run differential out a little bit more.
Take that.
And that's that. So, guys, that is going to wrap up this Phillies pregame show live here on DSM Media. You can check myself out on Twitter at DylanJD98. Check George out on Twitter at _George Ryder. And, of course, follow us on Twitter at DSM_media. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok. We are all over the place. We're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well. Have a great rest of your Sunday and ring the bell.
Ring the damn bell.